everyone who's watching the stream, do let me know how the audio mixing is. Experimenting a little bit. Hopefully the game audio is loud enough, and hopefully I'm not overpowering it with my microphone. Got 13 seconds until one-shot quali begins, and we'll see who takes pole for the sprint race.
Of course, different format to what I'm used to, at least, in that it used to be a oh, my controller just fell off my lap. In that it used to be a proper qualifying session, and now it's just a one-shot.
Well, normally there is a proper short qualifying session, but that's usually only for the just normal race weekends. At the minute, we've got a lot of jockeying going on up the field. Goshan was leading, and now he's down in 15th. Isti is currently in P1. I'll ride on board with Goshan here.
I'll be watching Isti to see for any mistakes, but it's looking tidy now. Perhaps a touch wide on exit, but he's still holding firm in the lead. Short lap round Imola. Shouldn't be much more than 60 seconds. But you see TomTom FE, or however you want to.
I call him Fifi.
Shot up a bit. TomTom Fifi. It's just shot up a bit and immediately shoots back down again. That being the competitive nature of this field, but Isti seems to be holding firm at the top.
Surprised that Goshan didn't just invalidate. We're talking over each other a bit there. That's something we're going to have to work out. Not quite Crofty and Martin Brundle, are we?
No, I'm waiting for a 2-sec, Ted. But it looks pretty certain that Isti's going to take this pole position, and yes, he does by a decent margin. 3/10 to gap.
Goshan can only manage P7. And Angel was disqualified, which means he'll probably start dead last. And let's just take a look at how the field plays out. Isti in pole position, TomTom P2, Daniel 99 P3, Lasso P4, P5 is the Haas of Andre Bailey. I believe that's a reserve driver. My old friend Pookie is P6, Goshan P7, Biscuit P8. Bubbly in the AlphaTauri is P9, and Shankstar rounds out the top 10 in P10 with a 1:17.0, quite a way off the leading time.
So if we look further down, we've got 2 disqualifications for Angel and Sherlock. Not familiar with Angel, but I know Sherlock is someone who likes to get his elbows out and really likes to jockey for position. So starting from the back shouldn't be too big of a difficulty for him. He should get past it pretty easily and maybe have some fun in the process. So he's definitely one to watch starting from the back.
Right. I've just had a little bit of feedback. You're a bit too quiet, so I'm going to see if I can boost you a bit. And I'll turn myself down a bit more.
I'll have a look on my microphone.
Yeah, I've
changed themselves.
You're loud to me. I've boosted to you through Discord, so we'll see how that does.
Perfect.
Right. Let me know how that goes. Liam Potter. Hopefully I'm a bit quieter. And Oscar is a bit more louder, hopefully. Anyway, formation lap for the 11-lap sprint race. Isti will lead the field away, going through Tamburello.
The tyres, looking at the tyres. Of course, this is my first go on this game's.
Everyone is starting on the medium tyres. So, not gonna be much strategy in this sprint, I imagine. The only curveballs that could be thrown would be if someone loses a front wing. If there's a crash down the field. Through Aqua Minerale now. And
corner.
Rather frustrated that we've still got this irritating audio bug where it's going brum 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 brum. Very annoying as a carryover from 2021. I'm wondering when they're gonna do the next big upgrade, when the next, say, like F123 has a completely new game engine. But who knows? As the grid will shortly be lining up. Have we lost you? Oh no, we haven't. No.
No. I'm just sitting in contemplative thought. I'm going to stick my camera on HGL Sherlock, so I think he could really be one to watch diving it into turn 1.
We've had a couple of people who have missed the lineup. I can't remember what you call it. They overdone. Yeah, the grid slot. That's it. Few people down the grid, including TomTom and Daniel in P2 and P3. And very annoying that I can't get a proper starting camera for this. 5 lights on. It's lights out and away we go for the sprint. We've got a horrendous camera angle for this one and I can't tell who is leading. It's Isti at the minute, but Daniel is making his way up into P1. He's fighting, he's into the lead in Tamburello with his cars going round. I think that's TomTom. We have a bit of a traffic jam at Tamburello.
Carnage already.
Sherlock gets a 5-second penalty for the crash. TomTom has gone from position 2 to position 2-0. Bit of a nightmare for TomTom. A brilliant start for Daniel too.
Sherlock's round. 5-car scrap in the midfield for P12 at the moment. Sherlock came off, he got a lightning start, but he came off second best, or fifth best I should say, in that little scrap there. This midfield's super tight as Big Six goes a bit wide in the background. But dives down the inside of Groffel, but turning his position into Aqua Minerale. Yeah, this midfield battle is all over the shop here.
I'm gonna briefly boost you through Discord again, because people are still not having issues hearing you. I'm gonna... hopefully that will do it. So apologies for the brief black screen, everyone. Currently, it's Daniel still leading by 7/10 over Isti. Lasso in the McLaren, just less than 4/10 behind Isti. Behind, that's the word I was looking for. And 1.3 seconds to the Haas of Andre behind.
We look back to Goshan, 1 point, less than a tenth now, just backing out a little bit. Could have gone for it into turn 1. Thought better of it on Shankstar. We know Shankstar's one who likes to defend his positions for his life. If you remember back to the British Grand Prix.
We could have a move here from Lasso. He's going to try and go around the outside. No, he has a bit of a moment through Tosa. He was looking like he was going to try and get past Isti. Didn't work out in the end. Sorry for talking over you there. Just
no problem. I'm focusing on the midfield. You're on the front. As TomTom FE has a moment. We're against Bubbly. Comes off second best. Perhaps some damage. But drops down to 19th. As HGL Sherlock comes into the pit lane. Comes out of the pit lane rather. With a new front wing I would expect. A new set of soft tyres. So again, one who likes to fight up the field. Hopefully he can make amends for that first lap incident.
Lasso right behind Isti here, within the 1 second margin, but he's got quite a bit of wheel spin. It's cost him a little bit of time.
Big battle between Goshan and Shankstar in the midfield right now. They're swapping positions left, right and centre. They're going to come down the main straight now. Shankstar 2/10 back. He's deploying energy all the way down, sticking in the slipstream, tucked behind his gearbox. He might go for a late lunge, but he could think better of it, play the long game.
I think Goshan had a bit of slipstream from the Williams of Big Jabber ahead of him. Goshan's not
for a Lord into turn 1.
Goshan.
Oh, a little bit of contact behind a Lord between, I think that was Groffel and H.
There's been a bit of a move between Groffel, between this bunch. There's a bit of a 5-car scrap actually going on for position, I believe, 14. Quite like almost what we saw in Austria in real life. The cars. Oh, that's a big move from the Williams, and there's collision. Oh, that's not what you want to see. That's ruined both of their races here.
Groffel coming to the pit
And we have a safety car, I think. No, it's a...
Yellow flags in sector 1, 2, and 3.
It's a... That means it's a virtual safety car. I don't see the safety car itself coming out. That has slightly kerfuffled Lasso's attempt on Isti here, as DRS was enabled, and the virtual safety car came out just before he was able to make that attack.
You look at Bubbly missing a front wing end plate there. Might want to come into the pit, so he's going to live with the damage for now. Minimal damage for Bubbly.
Shankstar has also lost his front wing. He went off the track for a moment there, so he will be coming in for a brand new front wing. And that probably... Groffle also coming in for the front wing. So I'll see where that puts them, but at the minute, the entire field is the filling in a Ferrari sandwich. We've had a car going round. That's Pookie at the Villeneuve's chicane. He's about to be overtaken by the Williams of Angel, or is that an Alpine? I don't remember what the colours are.
It's a Williams. He's going to fight
It's a
it
Williams.
out. Give this up without a fight.
Lasso, meanwhile, within a second of Isti, he will get the DRS on this lap at least. He's lost a little bit of time thanks to the VSC. Oh, he's gone off a little bit on the gravel there. He's not got the car a lot under control here, but he does at least get the DRS, and he should gain a bit of that time back. Meanwhile, down at the bottom of the field, I see Sherlock and Shankstar having a bit of a fight for P18.
A little bit further up, big jab just went into the back of Goshan. Little love tap on the gearbox. Doesn't look like he's got any visible damage, but it's hard to tell.
Lero Fusion just got past Andre Bailey for P5, the Aston Martin. Right now about 4 seconds behind Biscuit, who is a bit lonely in P4. He's got about 4 seconds either side of him.
And if we look down to a Lord, Bubbly, TomTom, and Quack, 4-car battle, all nose to tail right now. Chasing Big Six, just within a second of him, but he seems to be peeling away as these guys fight for position further behind. Again, tricky track to overtake on, bit wide in the background for Quack. Should compromise his exit to head up into Aquamina Raleigh.
Bubbly does have that broken front wing. He hasn't pitted, so that will probably be compromising him, and it does appear to be. He has lost visibly some time to a Lord ahead of him.
2/10 slower in sector 2.
We've got a yellow flag. Lagand is retired.
Is out.
And we have a full safety car here. So that's going to neutralise the field, and that will probably, yes indeed, it is allowing some drivers to come into the pits, and in Bubbly's case, replace his front wing. Big Six is also replacing his front wing. Is Quack coming just for the tyres? Oh, he's got to double stack. Oh, that's not great.
Oh yeah, we've seen Bubbly come in to change the front wing.
So that will mean...
To the soft tyres as well.
Yeah, soft tyres, they will be faster, but there's only 5 laps of the race remaining. And we will have to wait for those cars to catch up to the safety car queue. So every car below P10 has made a stop, which means they will probably be quite rapid. And we could see a further mixing up of the field.
Sherlock does stay out. Of course, he pitted at the beginning because of the damage from that first lap incident.
Which means he has the oldest soft tyres out there, so he'll be not quite as fast as the cars ahead and in front behind him. Or the one car behind him. That's Shankstar in the pits again, I think? Is that again? Yes, indeed it is.
I would have thought for Sherlock, coming into the pits might have been a good idea. I mean, he's at the back anyways. Getting another fresh set of softs on could have been a good idea to try and make something of where he was. Now he's just in 18th with some old tyres. It should probably fall away at the end.
We had some more cars coming into the pits. Pookie is not pitting, but a few of the cars who were in the top 10 have pitted. So Andre, Reese, and Goshan have all pitted for brand new soft tyres. And I think Lord is going to get ahead of Goshan here. So will the 1 lap difference in tyre age make a difference here? And TomTom's coming into the pits again. I think he's broken his front wing on his outlap there, so this has not gone particularly well for TomTom here. At a great starting position, and it just... God, what a bit of a disappointing sprint. So he's got a bit of a recovery to make in the race proper.
Now, of course, I do say Sherlock probably should have come in. At the same time, these 2 laps are good. These laps into the safety car are going to neutralise his tyre wear for a little bit. So his tyres might make it to the end on a decent pace, but I do have a sneaky suspicion they'll fall away towards the end. So,
I reckon almost certainly.
Sherlock.
It will almost certainly fall away. I can imagine that there'll be probably around 30% tyre wear. Oh, Shankstar has retired. I think he's pulled into the pits for that one.
He has rolled into the pits.
Yeah.
Interesting to find out what happened there.
I think he's probably just called it.
Yeah, after that damage during the safety car, must have thought it wasn't worth continuing. Peeled into the pits to make amends in the race. Again, Shankstar, one who likes to get his elbows out. I've no doubt in the race that he can make amends if he keeps it clean. But on a tight track like this, you know, fighting tooth and nail, he might come off second best with a bit of bodywork damage.
So lap 8, 9, 10, 11. We've got... depends how quickly TomTom can catch up. But we might get the safety car ending on the end of this lap. So we should have 3 laps of racing. Potentially 2, though. The safety car may come in anyway. Got to see how things go. Watch that Aston Martin safety car. Are the lights going to stop blinking? Oh, I think they have. It's turned green.
Daniel back in the pack up now. He's really going for it. Everyone's weaving to warm their tyres.
Safety car is in this lap. TomTom should have the opportunity to catch back up to the rest of the field.
You can see everyone weaving to warm their tyres now. It's the 11th hour to get that temperature in. Get all the grip you can into turn 1.
So how much progress can the soft runners make on their new soft tyres? They shouldn't have a lot of wear on them. Will Andre be able to... Yes, will Andre be able to get past Pookie? Or can Pookie hold him off? A ride on board with Daniel here for now as he goes for it. Race gets back underway. I think I saw someone spinning off. No, just me seeing things.
Andre Bailey did peel out to make a move, but thought better of it, tucked back into the slipstream behind
Andre does. The gap between Andre and Pookie is closing. He's going for the move.
Turn 1.
Oh,
Pookie very wide. Mid-corner should get better traction on the exit from that tyre advantage and the line advantage. Almost level pegging into the chicane. Oh, so close to contact. Pookie holding on for his life.
Oh, I see that. I see that. That's a big spin. That's A-Lord and Goshan as well. That's a horrific sprint for Goshan. It's not been going particularly well. And Pookie down to P9 now.
Lost 2 positions for the price of 1 as Bailey goes for Big Jabber into Aqua Minerale. Just tucks behind. Good defense from Jabber because he did seem to be falling prey to that house behind him. But surely with the amount of grip that Andre's got, he should have him by the end of the next lap.
We've got a yellow flag, and that's Groffel and TomTom. Groffel was going around again. It's been a nightmare sprint for TomTom. Meanwhile, Isti, within the DRS margin, won't get it on this lap, of course. We will have one lap of... Actually, will we get the DRS at all? I don't think we will, actually.
Down, he peels out to go around the outside in turn one. Makes almost easy work of Jabba. Easy work of Jabba. Jabba might fall prey to Reese behind him. He loses a bit of time on that compromised line. But Andre is away and flying. These soft tyres really working for him as he hunts down Fusion next.
Groffle has retired.
Driver out. Groffle, yep.
And Angel... Oh, Reese goes round! And collects Pookie, too. So that's a bit of a disaster. So Reese was flying on the new soft tyres and he's thrown it all away, probably with a dab too much throttle. And that's at least allowed Goshen back up into P12. Take a brief look at the position changes.
He just tucks back in behind Fusion. Andre's made up something like 8/10 in the first few quarters, in the middle sector even. I mean, Lyral Fusion needs to be checking his mirrors at every opportunity because here comes Andre, and he's not going to mess about. He wants to get past this Aston Martin as quickly as is humanly possible. He'll definitely get him into turn one.
There will be no DRS, as it has only just been activated, which means... Oh yeah, Lyral Fusion appears to be using his energy. In fact, we can just take a brief look at that.
Andre's saving.
Yeah, Andre doesn't have much to use anyway. He's down below 5%. So he's used up all of his energy. He's got to rely entirely on his tyre grip here. What was going to be a fight for P2 has sort of petered off. Lasso has lost pace compared to Isti. He's now more than a second behind the Alpine. I think it's going to be Daniel taking victory in the sprint. Ride with Andre here. Is he going to be able to make a move? He does have the grip. Does he have the launch? He did get a lot closer.
He's alongside him.
He makes the dive bomb.
Down the inside. Oh,
Yeah.
He comes out. Cuts across Lyral Fusion. Makes a little bit of contact. Doesn't look like there's any damage for Fusion, but that was very, very fine margins. As Fusion goes down, I think...
He lets him past.
Out of a feeling of sportsmanship, I imagine.
So that will be Fusion taking P5. Daniel does hold on to take the sprint victory. Andre
got him.
almost. Very close.
Hundredths left. I mean, I'm not sure if he was instructed to give the place back as an illegal overtake or if it was a thing of sportsmanship. I mean, it was a very tight corner, very, very close margins. I'm not sure I would put full blame on either driver. I mean, Andre Bailey has looked like the man to beat since the restart. I'm unsure. And if you look down, Sherlock almost got into the points.
Very close.
Not the points, obviously sprint race. I don't think the points go down that far.
And Jabba went from P10, no, P17 to P7. So he does get 2 points, I think. Yes, I've been saying all race, he's going to get into the points in P10. No, actually he's not, because the points in the sprint race only go down to 8th. So Daniel picks up the maximum 8 points for P1, and Bubbly picks up the solitary point for P8. In between, we've got Isti in second, Lasso in third, Biscuit in 4th, Fusion P5, only 500ths ahead of Andre, who takes P6, and Big Jabba takes 2 points for P7.
Well, start as we mean to go on, I guess.
Sorry?
Start as we mean to go on. It's a good, exciting start in the sprint race. Let's hope it carries over to the feature.
Yes, indeed. And on to the feature race. The race proper, it's looking a little bit cloudy. One thing that we commentators don't get the opportunity of knowing is if they how the weather's gonna pan out. It could just stay cloudy, it could get sunnier, it could start to rain. That's something we don't know.
And that's something I think that we should have the opportunity to know.
That would be quite useful.
Yes. So, a very different looking grid for the race proper. Daniel now leads them away. And let's take a brief look at the tyres. And as you would expect, most cars starting on the medium tyres. Sherlock gonna try his luck on the softs. And then we've got A-Lord, Pookie, and Shankstar gonna start on the hard tyres. Now that I know Pookie likes the alternate strategy a lot, so he's going for that alternate strategy here. Gonna go long on the harder compound and then switch to the softer compound later on.
Yeah, mostly medium runners. Again, you look at the skies, it's looking pretty overcast. There could always be a threat of weather. So that could benefit Pookie and a Lord if they stay out to maintain track position and that the rain begins to fall.
Daniel got quite a gap between himself and Isty. That would not be helpful if he wants to keep tyre temperature. Though I'm not sure if the tyre temperature actually stays locked when you line up on the grid. I'm not sure about that. But if it's anything like real life, he'll lose quite a bit of tyre temperature if he waits too long on the grid. Oh, and he almost overcooks it. Has to lock up to come to line up with the grid. And you can see he's angled himself in just the manner to try and cut off Isty there.
Seems very aggressive from Daniel. Definitely wants to keep that P1 that he fought for.
He got the launch in the sprint. Will he get the launch in the feature? We've got a few wonky cars down the grid, including, I think that's Andre's Haas. The lights are not coming on yet. Something's going on. We may have had a disconnection. That's usually what that means.
Well, the lights are out, but away we don't go.
The lights have not come on yet, that's why. Oh, there we go, the lights are coming on. Seems to have had an issue with the start system. It's lights out, and away we go, and Daniel gets a pretty decent start. So does Lasso. He's just vaulted over Isty. Oh, well, not quite vaulted, but yes. Isty has lost P2 to the McLaren, and we have another Ferrari going round. Sherlock. Oh, it's almost like real life. Tom again.
Corner, both drivers,
Fusion up into P3. Sherlock picks up another 5-second penalty for another severe collision. It's gone all wrong for Sherlock this weekend.
It was another lightning start from Sherlock. I was watching on board because I figured he'd be the one to watch on the soft compound tyres. And again, just another turn 1 incident, lost some bodywork. He'll peel into the pits at the end of this lap to get rid of it.
We've got a few issues with the timing boards. Apparently, Lasso is right behind Daniel, but clearly he isn't. So we've got a few issues with that. Should right itself.
Chasing down Isty. Another good start from Andre. We look back at Biscuit making some amends on Jabba. They're side by side.
And Jabba has lost out to Biscuit there.
Is he going to lose out to a Lord as well? That compromised line might really send him on a bad path.
No, a Lord is behind Big Six. And he could lose out to Goshan too, though he does seem to have a bit more straight line speed than the Alpine. Yes, indeed he does. There's probably a bit of energy usage going on there. Oh, something's going on there. Oh, and he has to lock up, and he's lost the position to Goshan now. He took a compromised line, compromised it too much.
Goshan saw a Lord think about the move, saw the hesitancy, said thank you very much, and took it straight off him.
Bubbly has just lost a position or two to both Lero Fusion and Andre, who's up into P4. So something's gone wrong for Fusion there. And he's now in P5. There's been another car going like Lagand. Oh, Tozer. That's gone.
Oh, big twitch for a Lord Annie's round.
Oh, I need to see that. Yeah.
Huge twitch on the rear end, lit up the rears.
Uh-oh.
And I think Pookie went into the back of him. Or it might have been Groffle. Groffle went into the back of him. He's got no front wing. Groffle's going to peel into the pits from P12.
Lost a bit of footage there. Something went wrong with my controller again, but Groffle now is going to end up not quite at the back of the grid, but definitely close to it. Fastest laps for Isti 104, currently P3. And Groffle kind of holding Angel up there a bit.
I will say Lasso's pace right now does look pretty electric. He's sticking right behind Daniel, gaining time in each sector from what I can see.
And he will get the
taking good lines through all the corners.
he will get the DRS in lap 4. We'll see how much of straight line speed he has. We've got another yellow flag. That's Big Six who's gone round, I think, at Villeneuve. Does manage to keep it going though. He has lost a couple of positions, but not too many.
He is fighting with Angel at the moment. Angel seems to come out ahead of him just about. Gonna have to give that place up. Maybe got dirty tyres from the gravel. Doesn't quite have the grip to fight it all the way with the Williams. Shankstar behind smells blood as well. Gonna have a go with Big Six.
Very close battle for P3 here. Oh, I thought Isti was spearing off the track.
Oh, Angel just went a bit wide into Aquaminarale. Big Six went right to the back of him. Lost a front wing end plate, it looks like. So damage for Big Six. Terrible day for the Mercedes today.
Meanwhile, Lasso has the DRS on Daniel 99, but he's not using the energy. He's gaining a little bit, but he's not going to make the move. In fact, he's closed the DRS early. So he was quite content to stay in P2 for now. Not what I would do, but I guess he wants to keep the DRS and use it when it's actually when he could actually take the position, if you know what I mean. I don't know what I'm saying.
For that damage with Angel. So Angel just went very wide, and Big Six goes for the move, but makes the wrong split-second decision. Just clatters into the back of the Williams. He's going to come out with a fresh set of hard tyres and a new front wing, see if he can make amends. But look further back, Reese is all over the back of Sherlock right now. He's going to have energy to deploy, to defend. But with DRS and energy for Reese, I don't think it's going to be much of a fight.
Indeed, Reese does have softer rubber.
The outside as well, and it's not much of a fight. I think Sherlock knows that. Oh, and round goes Big Six into the gravel trap at turn 1. Again, not the day to be Big Six in this race.
Not the day to be a Mercedes driver.
No, clearly. Although Tom is up to 9.
Lasso is going to make a move on Daniel here. He's got the DRS. He's using the energy. He's going around the outside, and he's made the move stick before they reach Tamburello. Nicely done for the McLaren driver.
I mean, that's been coming for a few laps now. I think Lasso's had just a bit more pace than Daniel, but now Daniel might fall prey to Isti behind. Didn't take any compromised lines into turn 1.
Oh, yellow flag! Pookie and Jabber have had a moment in Tamburello. Jabber's lost out a lot. Pookie, though, not too much. Indeed, Jabber...
Doesn't look like it.
Nor on the Williams. So now Jabber under threat from Quack.
Watching Isti, he is nose to tail. He's almost pushing Daniel through Aquaminarale. I think into turn 1, this move's got to be done.
Oh, bit of a moment from Lasso too. But it doesn't seem to have compromised him too much. He's actually pulling away from Daniel. Daniel will still get the DRS though, so it's really a question of who has the least downforce on their car. Is it going to be the Alpine or the Ferrari?
The final corner for Isti. He's got to make this stick, surely. He's going to be right behind him. He can almost smell the exhaust fumes in his helmet, surely. He's got to go for it, I think.
No, not on this occasion. Daniel almost goes into the back of the McLaren.
Oh, that compromised line is going to go for the over-under. Can Isti make it stick?
No, not on this occasion. He's got to stick behind. We've got another yellow flag. That's Bubbly gone off at Tamburello. Don't know if there's any damage.
Doesn't like Daniel's got the pace to keep up with Lasso ahead.
Where has Daniel's pace gone from the sprint? Maybe his car was better suited to the conditions in the sprint. But here, it seems to just have lost some of that magical pace.
If Isti's not careful, he's going to go into the back of Daniel. Look at how close he is.
All through Variante Alta. Not a very tricky corner, even at the best of times. Still within 5/10. I don't think Daniel's going to be able to make a move on Lasso. He'll still have the DRS. Oh, Daniel goes a bit onto the gravel though, and that's going to compromise him. He's now outside of a second of Lasso, and he's a sitting duck on the straights now. Isti is going to breeze past that Ferrari.
Energy for Daniel. He knew it was over when he hit the gravel trap. I think, yeah, sign, seal, and deliver before the corner even came up on them.
Meanwhile, we've got
Tom getting past Fusion.
Oh, well, that was TomTom getting past Fusion. I thought it was Fusion trying to make a move on TomTom, but never mind.
I was so fixated on Isti and Daniel, and you can see he's already pulling away a 3/10 gap, but it isn't quite what I was expecting. I thought Isti's pace looked a bit more electric than that. He's not really pulling away from Daniel.
Oh, there's a bit of a kerfuffle going on down for P12. Oh, there's two cars gone off. Lagand and Jabber both into the gravel. Lagand, though, was spun round. Has he got damaged? It doesn't look like it. He managed to keep it out of the wall.
You look at Groffel, got DRS on Reese. Harder compound tyres, but those softs are, aging with each lap. They might not hold on for much longer. 5 laps on the softs versus 4 laps on the hards.
My bet is on the hards.
I don't know if Reese can hold on. I think Groffel does have really good pace, although he does go a little bit slowly through the corner on Apex. Loses quite a lot of time to Reese. I'm not sure how I feel being on the hards at this rate compared to the softs, but I give it a couple more laps and Reese should fall prey to those hard compound tyres.
Shankstar could be able to make a move on A-Lord here. Oh, we've got another yellow flag, and that's Fusion! Oh, no. Ah, that's unfortunate for the Aston Martin, and he finds himself outside of the points. That's promoted Goshan into P5.
Lord's gonna go
And
for
he's gonna lose P12 too, and his tyres are cooked. His tyres are cooked, I tell you. He'll have to take it very easily, or those tyres will stay cooked. Also, Lagand went round at Tamburello again.
Look further down, Shankstar 5/10 behind a Lord. Quack 3/10 behind.
Lagand's gone around again at Villeneuve. When Lasso's had a bit of a wonky exit, and he's gonna lose P1 here to Isti 104. It's done deal before the DRS was even opened. Isti takes back P1 after losing it, well, in the first seconds of the sprint race.
Massively wide moment for Shankstar into Aqua Minerale is going to really open up an opportunity for Quack, though Shankstar seems to have made up the gap again to a Lord. We've got a 5-second time penalty for Pookie in the McLaren as he comes into the pit, speeding in the pit lane.
Andre under threat from Goshan and TomTom here. And he goes wide at Tosa. He's not compromised him too much, though. Maybe the wider line has helped him a little bit, oddly enough, but we'll see. Goshan will get the DRS. Andre taking some strange lines. Yes. Sort of trying to cut off the wider lines, maybe. Meanwhile, Pookie picked up a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So that's not going to help his race out there. And actually, Andre has had a terrible launch. Or was that a lift? I don't know. But that's going to allow Goshan right up the diffuser of the hash there. TomTom right behind as well. This is probably going to be a double overtake for P4.
I don't think Andre can defend from Goshan. I think he can probably defend from TomTom from that far back.
We've got another car round at Tosa. I think that might be Groffel. I reckon that's Groffel. Oh, that's Goshan. He's gone wide. He had to take to the runoff there. Is he going to allow a car back? I don't know. That I would give a position back for that one. That's as a.
You see, the tricky thing with that is now that TomTom's the car behind rather than Bailey, and Bailey was the one who was going for the move on.
So Bailey has lost the position, but TomTom got past him too. So what does Goshan do? He has to give a position back, but
if he's not being given the, I thought that was for Goshan for a moment. But he's not getting given it. We'll see if that ends up in the steward's room later. I imagine it probably will. She looks further back. A Lord is right on.
Oh, and Bailey picks up a 3-second penalty for cutting corners. So he got 2 warnings and he pushed his luck. And now he will get a 3-second penalty slapped onto his race time at the end. So even if he does finish in P4, if the cars in behind him finish within 3 seconds, he will finish P6. Potentially.
Looks like Shankstar is falling off, is catching up, to a Lord. So you've got TomTom and
TomTom has just got past Goshan. So the DRS will allow these drivers to swap positions.
Shankstar's going to have DRS on Quack, on a Lord even. The Lord's going to have DRS on Quack.
TomTom has a bit more energy than Goshan, who is running very close to 10%, as is Andre. Oh, Andre goes round! So that's his race over, and that's going to allow Biscuit past too. Possibly even Bubbly. Yes, and Bubbly too. So Andre has gone from P4 to P8 within a couple of laps here. Bit of a nightmare scenario for that. Reese is into the pits. His soft tyres have not lasted. Rather predictably.
With the Lagand at the moment in turn 1, he's going to go around the outside. Can he make it stick? No contact just yet. Yep, had it done mid-corner, although Reese is going to...
Lagand's gone off onto the gravel, so that's going to...
Sorry, Lagand.
It's going to solidify the position here. Sherlock's tyres will last a bit... Oh, Sherlock's gone onto the gravel too now. So the swapping of positions...
For Lagand, though, it didn't seem like it was too big of a moment from Sherlock. It just looked like a good old up and under... Lagand probably under pressure for Sherlock, because you see Bubbly and Andre in the pits.
Shankstar gonna make a move on A-Lord here for P10.
Coming for a few laps. He's got the inside line that should be done and dusted.
Doesn't quite have the energy, but he should be able to make it. Oh no! He had to take the compromised inner side line. He doesn't quite have a lot of energy, but neither does A-Lord. Both cars have blinking red lights, which means they're below 10% ERS deployment. Though Shankstar has been able to recover a little bit, it is definitely harder to recover energy on this game than previous. So Shankstar still P10.
Lasso still keeping SD honest.
He will get the DRS. He's got 30% energy reserves, but Isti has twice as much. Yes. And Lasso isn't using any of the energy. He isn't using the overtake, at least. Goshan also... Ooh, he's below 10% energy, so he's not going to be able to make a move. I think Reese has disconnected as his car is transparent. I think that's Reese, anyway.
The Lagand's
yes.
just got past Big Jabber. It looks like Jabber might fall victim to Sherlock as well.
Jabber has just come out of the pits on cold, hard tyres, so they should be warmed up by now, but he's lost it out a little bit, at least.
Oh, a little bit of a twitch for Lagand on exit. Doesn't really really matter because Big Jabba is too preoccupied with the big red Ferrari in his mirrors as Sherlock pulls to one side.
Jabba has a lot of energy to use, though. Sherlock would be a sitting duck on the straight, potentially even if he has the DRS, and Jabba's got the DRS, but he's not using his energy. Maybe his energy button has broken, who knows?
I think Jabba might be thinking about the long game. He doesn't want to take the life out of his tyres too much by fighting.
Lasso, I think, is recovering his energy slowly. He's just biding his time here. Content to stay within DRS, but not going to use the energy when he doesn't need to. Just relies on pure pace at the minute, and gradually recovering his battery. Meanwhile, I think also that's Fusion has also disconnected. Yes, indeed he has. His car's looking a bit transparent, or translucent.
Back into the pits from P8.
I think Fusion has actually come back, or maybe he was having some sort of connection issues. He is still racing. The gap between Lasso and Isti has grown a little bit, but not too much. And Daniel has fallen a bit by the wayside, but still within 2.5 seconds, so could still play a part in this race.
I think he's looking quite comfortable in P3, unless he goes for a different strategy. I can't see him clawing it back to the front, unless those new tyres suit him. Well, into the pits comes Isti and Lasso, both peeling in, same time. And Daniel.
And Daniel.
Runners into the pits now. Be interesting to see what.
And it's going to be hard tyres for both the McLaren and the Alpine, and for the Ferrari. TomTom and Goshan coming in too. Goshan, though, going to be compromised a little bit by the double stack. Not too much, though. Biscuit also coming in. That's going to be for hard tyres as well. Angels picked up a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Daniel has not left the pit box. On my screen, at least.
No, he's not left on mine either. Not sure what's going on in the Ferrari pit box. This is just like real life.
I think he's gone AFK. Maybe he thought that it would still let him go. But something has gone horribly wrong for Daniel here. I know that the game can lag a bit.
He can kiss goodbye to that P3 because this is absolutely catastrophic. It's like being Valtteri Bottas in Monaco 2021 or Charles Leclerc circa 2022.
I know that the game can lag a little bit, like sometimes the pit stop will finish and then the car will sort of just jump forward, but this has not happened. The car is still there.
For, I think, well over a minute now.
And I think that's because he hasn't held the clutch down to go. So he's probably had to go AFK for whatever reason. And now he's going to get lapped. That whatever's happened.
But it's too late. There's no coming back. He's left the session as well.
Yeah, so it appears he's had a connection issue, I imagine. So that's race over for Daniel. He's been lapped by the leaders, and that's promoted TomTom into P3. A-Lord, currently P4, but he's might not be there for long. He's fighting with Goshan and Shankstar. Yeah, he's opted to go long on the hard tyres.
Shankstar's just lost 2 in 1. He lost 1 to Goshan and 1 to Allord already. Oh, and a bit of wheel banging for Goshan and Allord.
We've got a yellow flag. I think that's Fusion. Yes, indeed it is. Fusion's had a incident at Variante Alta. And I've forgotten the name of this section, which is just great. I know it begins with P. I know this is Aqua Minerale, but the section before, it's just vanished. Meanwhile, Lasso, about 6 tenths behind Isti still. He's still biding his time. He will have the DRS again, and he's using his energy. But not too
Andre
much.
Biscuit going at it now. Going down.
Another yellow flag.
Main
That's
straight.
Lagand. He's spun at Tamburello. TomTom sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, 1:18.5. Lasso getting quite close to Isti there for a moment. But now he's got to
Andre with
contend
DRS.
with the...
Should be an easy move.
And yeah, Andre has got past Biscuit just about. Doesn't have a lot of energy, though. Biscuit has quite a lot more. 10 times as much, I imagine. Shankstar.
Big twitch.
Ooh.
For a Lord, big twitch on the rear, it looked like.
Yeah, Shankstar within 3/4 tenths of A-Lord. Both of these drivers have yet to pit. Trying to go as long as they can on the hard compound tyres. Probably going to try and switch to soft tyres at some point. Oh, I think there was a bit of a lock-up for Shankstar there. He had a bit of a compromised line into Alta, and he has lost a bit of time to the Alfa Romeo. Meanwhile, the other Haas is being hounded by Biscuit, who is on slightly newer hard tyres. I think Biscuit is definitely going to get the DRS. He will. He's going to use his energy as well, and I don't think Andre can really fight back too much. He has less than 10% energy. And Biscuit is going to make this look easy. Not quite. He does have the inside. He's compromised. Has to hold off for now.
We look up at the front. Lasso's keeping Isti honest, keeping him on his toes. 6 tenths, 7 tenths-ish the gap. Sort of maintaining that 7 tenths, 6 tenths gap. As I say that, it grows to 8 tenths as Lasso has a bit of a moment through Acqua Minerale. But he's within DRS, and again, commentator's curse in action. Lagand with a 3-second time penalty, but Lasso should have DRS down the main straight as long as he keeps things clean in this final couple corners.
Lasso still within a second, but he's losing a bit of time through Lavazza, or Rivazza even. So he does get the DRS. He's used up quite a bit of his energy reserves, but he's not going to be able to make a move on this occasion as TomTom goes 5 tenths faster than his previous best. We'll take a brief look at the fastest laps at the minute. TomTom, fastest man on track at the minute, 1:18.0. That's 8 tenths quicker than what Lasso has been able to achieve. Could TomTom be on for a surprise upset here?
Well, he's got all the time in the world to do it, but he wants to get a move on soon, I would say. I mean, 4 seconds.
A-Lord has pit. He's gone onto new medium tyres. There's been another spin. I think that's for Groffel. Not Groffel, Reese. Yes, Groffel.
Grief? Yes, between the two of them, they are grief. It was Groffel. Aston Martins, again, not a great day for the two. The same can be said for the Red Bulls, to be honest.
Lasso losing a bit of time. Oh, yellow flag. That's for Groffel again. No, I think that's Fusion. And there's a safety car. This could change things. TomTom not coming into the pits. What will Goshan do? Is he going to pit for new rubber? I don't think so.
Now, the most interesting thing about this safety car is TomTom is going to be right up Lasso's tail. This does everything he needs it to do.
Shankstar is going to pit for new tyres, as is Bubbly. So they will probably go on to new mediums.
This also plays into the hands of those who pissed it onto the hards early, so Shankstar, Groffel. The Groffel might be out of contention because of the incidents.
Bubbly has gone on to soft tyres. Shankstar will go on to mediums. So Bubbly will be quite quick to start off with. Andre also onto soft tyres.
Sherlock should pit too. Yep, Sherlock's in as well. Oh, speeding in the pit lane, 5-second penalty.
That's a mistake you don't want to make. Goes on to mediums as well, so the soft tyre runners will be really quick, but the tyre life is not going to last very long. Big Six also pitting for new medium tyres. Nice stop.
Again, this really does bring TomTom into the equation. I mean, the 5-second gap seemed like a bit much. He was making amends, but I don't think it would have been enough. But now that he's right behind them, I think he could be into the lead within a few laps' time after the safety car. I don't know if Lasso and Isti have the pace in the back pocket to keep him behind.
So with the field currently neutralised, at the minute we have Isti in P1, Lasso P2, TomTom P3, Goshan P4 after starting, I think, quite far down. TomTom actually started 13 places lower, so he was P16. He had a horrific sprint, and now he's up into P3, very close to where he started the sprint. So, could be on for driver of the day here, at least. Angel also up 11 places, Shankstar up 10. On the other end of the spectrum, though, we've had Daniel losing 17, and he is still disconnected, so he's possibly had a power cut or something has gone wrong. Maybe he's had to leave the computer for a real-life emergency, you never know.
See if there's anything about it on the Discord. I'll have a look now.
Oh, someone's gone off! Lasso has gone off! And he's lost a position to TomTom. But is TomTom gonna give it? Yeah. So normally that would give the position to TomTom, but don't know if that. No, it does look like that TomTom was ordered to give it back by the game's systems. So Lasso hasn't lost out too much. Most of the drivers have made a single pit stop. We've had a few making two. Oh, Bubbly has lost a position. No, there's just a bit of jockeying going on. Something's a bit odd. Tyres. We've got the top 7 on hard tyres, as is Jabba, Pookie and Daniel. Then we've got a few drivers on mediums. That's Shankstar, A-Lord, Sherlock, Big Six, Reese, Gruffle and Lagand. And we have 2 drivers on soft tyres, Bubbly and Andre Bailey. Few drivers with penalties. Angel with 5 seconds that could be served in a pit stop. Andre, whose 3 seconds will be added on to the end of his race time. Sherlock has 8 seconds worth, 5 seconds of which can be served in the penalty. Daniel and Lagand have 3 seconds apiece.
Nothing about Daniel's disconnect that I can see in the Discord, so I'm not sure what's going on. I'm sure we'll find out later.
I think we should get the safety car coming in on this lap, as the final 2 drivers, it's I believe Lagand and Gruffle, or is it Lagand? No, it will be Reese and Gruffle, who will catch up to the rest of the field on this lap. Racing should get back underway on lap 23, which will give us, I reckon, 9 laps of racing, barring any further safety cars. We have officially only lost 1 car from this Grand Prix. However, we do also have Daniel, who has disconnected for whatever reason. I don't believe anyone else is invisible. And yes, indeed, safety car is coming in this lap. So, Isti will lead the field away. Will Lasso be able to get past? Will TomTom be able to get past?
My money's on the Mercedes. I think TomTom's got all the pace to do it this in the first few laps, I think. I don't think he's got to wait at all. Andre Bailey will be the one to watch, I think, with the soft compound tyres.
But those soft compounds, those soft tyres will not last very long. Oh, thought Isti was gonna spin there, but no, he leads the field away. And will Lasso be able to get past it? Lasso is gonna try and make a move. He's taking a look at the very least. TomTom has a front row seat to these shenanigans, but it's not gonna be any change in position up front. I don't have... Oh, what the hell? Oh, Lasso has lagged behind TomTom, so something has gone drastically wrong for Lasso there. Oh, and he's got a lock up as well, and that's gonna potentially allow Goshan into the podium positions too. So something went rather wrong for Lasso there, and that's kind of ruined his chances at winning the race. He is P3 on your screen as well, right?
He is P3 on my screen. I'm not sure what happened there. I was watching.
Oh, we got Big Jabber going round at Aqua Minerale.
Bubbly gets past Biscuit as well.
Oh, someone else going round as well. That's Haylord. Oh dear. Oh, someone else as well. Reese in the Red Bull. I think there's more going on.
Chaos on the restart. You know, plenty of chaos after the fact.
TomTom within 5/10. Yes, Andre possibly going to be able to make a move. However, he has used a lot of his energy. Oh, and there's a little bit of contact between him and the Alfa Romeo. So he will have the pace. He should be able to make up a lot of places, but he's going to have that pace drop off really quickly.
Round the outside, turns into the inside, and he's got it done on Shackstar up into the points for Pookie.
Indeed.
Goshan and Bubbly also at it, less than a tenth into the corner, but just backed out for Bubbly. 0.2 of gap opens up to Lasso, in fact. So Lasso, TomTom, Goshan, and Bubbly all tightly compacted together.
Bubbly is on the soft compound tyres, so he will be lightning fast, but that pace is going to dissipate. I tried to say both words at once. Dissipate rather quickly, and his tyres are already 4 laps old. Don't know how much they're gonna...
To do with what can Bubbly do for his own race, but what will it do to Goshan's race? If he gets ahead of Goshan, that could really put him out of contention for a podium. If he loses too much time fighting with Bubbly. Further back we got Sherlock and Shankstar going at it, making a place is Sherlock.
Andre right up the chuff of Angel too. Will he be able to make a move into Villeneuve? I don't think so. He will have the grip. He's going to close the gap even more. He's going to try and make a move. No, he was taking a look actually into Toza. Not going to be able to make the move though. And I think... Oh!
Andre Bailey's going for a move on Angel.
Angel just lets him pass.
Interesting.
And that's... ooh. Someone else has gone invisible again. I think that might be Reese. Possibly Lagand.
It might be Lagand getting lapped.
Yeah, it's Lagand who's invisible. So we have lost another driver who's gone invisible. Ooh. Losing track of everyone. So not a good day to be a Red Bull driver. Both of them outside of the points. Also not a particularly good day to be an Aston Martin driver. Fusion was doing quite well earlier, and it's all come to nothing. I think he will still walk away with some points. Yeah.
This will be interesting for Lasso's race more than it will for Goshan's. If Bubbly does back Goshan up, then that opens up the gap to Lasso, and he could sail away with P3. Again, TomTom to me is looking in the best position to take this win at the moment. I think he's got better pace than Isti, although he's not making amends like I thought he might. Maybe just saving the tyre life keeping Isti honest at the time being.
Isti and TomTom have very similar levels of energy deployment. TomTom has actually about 10% more than Isti, but still a lot of energy for both of these drivers to potentially use. Lasso outside of a second now, under threat from Bubbly, but Bubbly doesn't have a lot of energy to play with. He's used up a lot of it, so it's going to be entirely based on grip and DRS.
Having a go. Sherlock comes off second best, pushed wide by the Alfa Romeo, but he'll have DRS.
Bubbly does have the grip. Lasso, I don't think is actually going to use his energy deployment. Oh, Bubbly's picked up a 3-second time penalty, though. So he will be a roadblock as he does get past the McLaren, and Lagand has retired. He's gone into the pits for that, though, so he's calling it a day.
Again, Sherlock and Quack going at it. The Ferrari.
Oh! TomTom did actually get past Isti. I don't know if you caught that.
I did not catch that, no. I think, again, I think it was coming. It must have been a mistake for Isti, surely. There was quite a gap, and already he's opened up a 5/10th gap. It must have been a mistake, I imagine. But again, TomTom, from the very beginning of that second stint, he's had all the pace in the world. You know, he's consistently about 5/10ths of that quicker. I don't see him relinquishing that lead unless, you know, strategy comes into play.
Isti is still within the second margin, but he's kind of balked Variante Alta there. So he's lost about 3/10ths. Still within the 1 second margin as Sherlock picks up another penalty. Isti will still have the DRS. We've got another yellow flag. TomTom sets the fastest lap, 1:17.9.
It's for Lasso. Lasso's down to 9th.
Lasso down to 9th. We didn't catch what happened. But now he's under threat from Sherlock.
8 seconds in the final sector.
So something went drastically wrong for Lasso. Wasn't quite under threat from Sherlock as he had the DRS to defend. Sherlock actually under potential threat from Quack.
There's been a battle between Sherlock and Quack for a while now. It's got a bit dirty, a little bit of pushing off the track, a little bit of elbow barging, but they're keeping it clean enough to avoid damage.
Shankstar
3-second time penalty.
also possibly gonna be in that battle as well. Big Six also within 6/10ths. So we've got a bit of a scrap going on. Technically for P9. So Lasso, his tyres might be a little bit cooked. Sherlock getting closer. Is he going to be able to make a move into Alta? No, not quite. Not quite wide enough, but he's going to have the traction, I think. He's going to hold off, I imagine. Wait for the DRS. The activations line is right there, but Sherlock's gone deep. So that's compromised him. He will still get the DRS, but he can't think of the words. Oh, position change between Biscuit and Angel as well. And Isti still keeping TomTom honest.
Sherlock is right on Lasso's tail as well.
So Sherlock did lose a bit of time, but not too much. Lasso has a bit more energy to play with, but not a huge amount. All of these drivers using up a lot of energy just trying to keep pace with the others.
Looks like Biscuit might be ghosting through Pookie right now.
So there's
almost matched and he's back to not.
Bit of lag going on. Oh no, I think that's desync going on because Pookie has just been barged off the racetrack by Biscuit. So I think Biscuit might not even know that Pookie is there. Oh, someone's gone round! Angel gone round on the exit of Variante Alta and outside of the points as well. There are 3 or so laps to go in this Grand Prix. And you know that drop off in pace for the soft tyre runners? I think it's finally hit Bubbly. He's losing a fair amount of pace. Just pay attention to his Sector 1 time. He's 2.2 seconds off of Isti.
Oh, Shankstar into the grass to get past Quack. Is he going to make it stick? Oh, bit of contact, loads of contact. Round goes Quack, round goes Shackstar, into the back goes Big Six.
Bubbly 7/10 down in Sector 1. So,
Chaos at turn 1 there.
oh, then I think Pookie's gone round as well. So Chaos in out of Tamburello. And Pookie now outside of the points, as is Shankstar. Andre Bailey picks up another time penalty. Lasso is now into P8. Big Six has lost some time too.
It's 'cause he got no
But he's no front wing.
Into the turn 1 accident, massive crash between a Lord and Quack, I think it was. Just spun each other round and into the back, you know, an unwilling bystander, Big Six. Nothing he could do about it.
Isti was about 4/10 away from TomTom, but now he's 8/10 back. Does still have the DRS, but something clearly hasn't gone quite right for Isti there. I didn't catch what his... He actually had a slightly faster lap time there. And actually, he has managed to catch back up to TomTom quite rapidly, so it could be that Isti has less downforce than TomTom, which could be why he's losing so much time through the middle sectors.
The Sector 1 time was only 300ths off.
Oh, I think Big Six has just lost out to Angel and Reese. Has he? He's not pitted yet.
Still missing that front wing. Not entirely sure what's going on.
He has to know he's lost his front wing. Maybe he's just trying to limp to the end because yeah, there's not a lot of time left in the race. And yes, Isti has lost a bit of time to TomTom again. Not as far behind as he was, but still a fair margin behind. This is actually the penultimate lap, but going on to the final lap here. This is the last attempt that Isti will have, but he just doesn't have the energy to play with. I don't think Isti's going to make it here. The gap is closing.
Losing out at the back.
Also, Pookie getting past Big Six with who still obviously has that broken front wing. I'd be amazed if Big Six decides to pit on this lap. There would be very little point. He is actually pitting. So he either way he was going to lose out, and he's actually retiring.
Angel sweeping around the outside of Reese makes it look easy then to turn 1.
The drop-off in pace for Bubbly has come back to bite him. He is now almost 6 seconds off of Isti, and that's allowed Goshan to catch right up to the AlphaTauri.
He's going to defend for his life, though. You can see he's going to make his car look as wide as possible. Look at that parking on the apex. He's going to do all he can to keep the Goshan behind and hold on to that podium. He's not got long to go.
He'll hold on to the podium on the road at least, but he has 3 seconds worth of penalties. I don't think it's going to matter anyway. Goshan is going to get past regardless. He has the tyre grip, and there we go. So Bubbly will hold on to P4. Groffle retired. He's had a crash. We won't get a safety car. It's too late. TomTom has won the race. Isti has come P2. Goshan takes a last lap overtake to take P3. It's a AlphaTauri.
Still going at it. Pookie and Quack still going at it in the back. Looks like Quack might just hold on, but Pookie's right on his tail, deploying energy all the way to the line. Looks like it's going to be Quack coming out on top of P11.
Quack had the DRS as well. Sherlock fell down to P10 for some reason, but there we go. It's a AlphaTauri 4-5, Alpine 2-3. And although one of the... Well, it's the best case scenario for TomTom, who after a terrible sprint race has come back to win it from P16, I think? I don't remember. What a race!
Very, very well done.
Incredible comeback for TomTom, and obviously he gets driver of the day.
Well deserved. I mean, from the moment that second stint started and he was 5 seconds behind P3, I think I already sort of figured out in my head who I knew the winner was going to be. Not that I'm prescient or anything, but You know, I had my money on Tom Tom, and he did not disappoint.
That safety car is almost certainly helped him win that.
I don't know, I think his pace would have brought him into contention regardless. The safety car just made it happen a bit sooner.
Where did he start from? I don't remember. He didn't have any sprint race points. I can't look at the results at all. So I don't know where he started, unfortunately. I think it was P16. It definitely wasn't a good position. But he does take maximum points from the race itself. Isti. Oh. Isti will take a race win's worth of points. But TomTom, with that fastest lap, ends up being the driver with the most points scored in the weekend.
Well, I think I need a lie down after that. That was a lot of race for your money.
It was P16 that he started from. There we go. I was... Ugh. And got to give some credit to Goshan too, who started from P10 and went to the podium. Not bad for Goshan, who I think he should still maintain his lead in the what's it called? The drivers' championship standings. That's it. I don't know why it's so hard to think of these obvious words.
Well, we have just been running our mouths for the past God knows how long. I think we're entitled to a few slip-ups.
Yeah, we'll have to find out what happened to Daniel there as he went from P1 to last of the running cars. And yet still behind Big Six, who DNF'd. So, yeah, we'll have to find out what happened there. All in all, though, I think we can call this session a success. Looking forward to commentating with you again, Oscar.
Yeah, definitely. I am looking forward to next race already. Oh, I say next race. I will not be here next race, so you will be someone else or by yourself next race. As I'm
Of course, you've still got the trial, don't you?
Yes, that too. I do need to buy the game. That helps.